My boyfriend broke up with me because I gained custody of my disabled younger sister after my parents got arrested. My boyfriend and I had been living together in a 2-bedroom apartment for about a year, before my parents got arrested for something and my 11-year-old autistic sister was going to get left on the street, so I told him about my idea, which was to get legal custody of my little sister Sandra. From the start of me saying that, I noticed that he was not very enthusiastic about the idea. He would make snide remarks about us not being able to have privacy, and us being too young to have kids or that sort of responsibility. Although I've always understood where he was coming from, this was never a situation I wanted to be in. I just felt it was my duty as an older sister to make sure Sandra didn't become homeless due to our parents' poor decision-making. So eventually, everything got processed by the court and I gained custody of Sandra, and my boyfriend and I put her in the spare bedroom. At first, everything was fine. I was doing a lot, like taking Sandra to school and picking her up, cooking for her, and generally caring for her well-being. After about 2 months, I realized that I was the only one putting any effort into taking care of her and I started to get really exhausted over the fact that my boyfriend would just sit on his game or go to the gym for hours at a time. It seemed like he was doing that to avoid helping out. I never wanted to confront him about it because I felt like my family problems were not his responsibility, but then I grew tired of him being completely oblivious to the weight I was carrying. I started to ask him to help me out with minor things, like cooking pasta for Sandra or running a hot bath so that it was ready by the time we got home, and he was constantly messing up the simplest of tasks. He would boil pasta for too long and it would come out extremely mushy and inedible, or he would run the bath with cold water. He was doing it on purpose as a way of refusing help. I eventually ended up confronting him and asking him why he was doing all of this stuff, and he broke down and said that he hates that we have Sandra living with us. He does not want to have a kid in the house and wants to have freedom in life, not this sort of responsibility. I re-explained the situation to him and told him that I knew it wasn't ideal, but that he would have to understand that this was the only way to go about it because if not me, there would be nobody else there to take care of her. Well, things only got worse after that conversation, and about 1 month later, he said that he was going to go on a short trip with his friends for a weekend. I thought that the trip might help him take the edge off, so I told him to enjoy, but as he left, I got a weird vibe from him. He felt so distant, and I was right, because he ended up not coming back for another week. When he returned, he came with boxes and a pickup truck. I asked him what he was doing, and he said he was moving out and we were done. He said that he felt our relationship start to end the moment Sandra moved in, and has lost all feelings for me since. I cried and begged him to stay and talk to me about it, but there was no use, and I felt heartbroken. Looking back at the situation now, I know that he was never the guy meant for me if this was enough to make him leave me rather than love and help me, but I have been struggling even more to take care of my sister now that I am heartbroken.